Hello viewers, welcome to India Decoded YouTube channel. The presidential election process has been initiated and on July 25th we will have a new President of India. In this video we will discuss about the presidential election process. The presidential election process is a bit different than the general election process where we elect our MPs and MLAs. To begin with, the Constitution of India has prescribed certain eligibility criteria for a presidential candidate. This includes he should be a citizen of India, he should be more than 35 years of age, should be qualified for election as a Lok Sabha member, should not hold any office of profit, and his nomination must be subscribed by 50 electors, and this proposal should be supported by another 50 electors. Who are these electors? We will come to know in a little while. Now let's discuss about the election process in detail. Election Commission of India is the designated authority that conducts election for president post. The President of India is not elected directly by the people. This is because in India we have a parliamentary form of government. In this form of government, the real executive is the Council of Ministers headed by the Prime Minister. The President of India, being the head of state, has to exercise his powers and functions with aid and advice of this Council of Ministers. So in reality, he is the head of state but not head of the executive and administration. So if the president is directly elected by the citizens of India, then he could exercise his authority over government decision making, and we will have conflicting power centers. This will be not conducive for smooth functioning of governance. This is why the president is indirectly elected by an electoral college that includes elected members of legislative assemblies and elected members of parliament. Nominated members cannot vote in this election. Nominated members in Rajya Sabha such as Sachin Tendulkar, Subramaniam Swamy and Rupa Ganguly cannot participate in presidential election. Currently, the composition of presidential electoral college is a total of 4896 members, out of which 4120 members are elected members of legislative assemblies of 29 states and elected members of legislative assemblies of Pondicherry and Delhi, whereas 776 are the elected members of parliament. Friends, in general election, the value of vote of a person is considered as 1. But for presidential election, the value of vote of electors are determined by a formula. The value of vote of MLA is calculated as total population of state divided by number of MLAs and the whole number divided by 1000. So MLAs belonging to different states will have different values for their votes. For example, if we take the most populous state, Uttar Pradesh, the value of vote of each MLA comes as 208. On the other hand, if we take the least populous state, Sikkim, then value of vote of each MLA is only 7. This process ensures that each state is fairly represented in the presidential election process according to their population. This is called as proportional representation. Similarly, the value of vote of each MP is calculated as total value of vote of all MLAs divided by number of elected MP. This value comes as 708. For the current presidential election, total value of vote of all electors is 10,98,903, and the quota required to win the election is half of this number plus 1. That comes out as 5,49,453. Next, let's see how the voting is done, which is very interesting. On the election day, each MP will be provided with a pink ballot paper and each MLA with a green ballot paper. These ballot papers will contain 2 columns. The first column will contain the names of all the candidates. Next to it will be boxes where the electors will mention the preference for each candidate. For example, if candidate A is the first preference for an elector, then he will put 1 against his name. The presidential election follows the single transferable voting system. What is the single transferable voting system? Let's understand with a simple example. Let's assume that the total value of votes is 70,000. To win, votes required is half of this plus 1, that is 35,001. So the counting process begins like this. Firstly, the first preference votes for each candidate is calculated. After this counting, let's say candidate A has secured 30,000 votes, candidate B has secured 26,000 votes, and candidate C has secured 14,000 votes. If in the first preference counting itself any candidate secures more votes than the required quota, then he will be declared as the winner. But as we see in this example, no candidate has secured the required quota. So in this case, the candidate with least amount of votes will be eliminated and his votes will be distributed to rest of candidates based on second preference votes. So in this example, candidate C with 14,000 votes will be eliminated, and his ballot papers will obviously include candidate A or candidate B as second preference candidates. So these second preference votes will be distributed to A and B respectively. After this, let's say A has secured 36,000 votes and B has secured 34,000 votes. So now we will have a clear winner and candidate A will be declared as the President of India. Now let's see some interesting facts about presidential election. Our first president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, holds the record of highest votes, that is 99.3% to win an election. Sri V.V. Giri had secured least percentage votes, that is 50.22, to win the presidential election, whereas Sri N. Sanjeeva Reddy had won the election unopposed. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos on Indian history, economy, politics and culture. Please share your valuable